This is Johnny Wrestling, or Johnny Takeover, as my shirt says. And listen, I want you to listen. Like, we're involved right now. It's crazy, it's loud, it's hectic. We're in New York City, but I want you to listen to No Holds Barred Network.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the All Elite podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network. I'm your host, as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, joined by my host, as always. She is Tiffany at Loves to Dream 82. I am at Real Kyle Masters. Guys, welcome to episode 18, Cody versus Dustin. Yeah. All right. I knew this was coming. And I knew I had to prepare for this, and I've said it in the first podcast that I made this prediction that I will be the first one to say I was wrong, and I was wrong. Okay, I'm admitting it. To you people out there like, oh, Kyle, we told you it wasn't him.
Get him.
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah. Okay.
Get him.
I'm sad, really, because I think I would have been a better match with Marty, but hey. Marty's not out of the woodworks yet, especially if you've seen this week's Being the Elite episode. Just look at the title, and the title says it all. But I think Marty's still going to be a double or nothing. I think for sure he's still going to be a double or nothing in some way. And we have, whether it's just going to be an appearance and then we're not going to see him until his contract's done, which we have news on his contract. But it's from a source that you're supposed to take with a grain of salt. I couldn't find anything official. So we'll just go over the grain of salt one and go from there. Because I've literally heard mixed opinions on when his contract's actually finished.
Yeah, because we have reported for a while that it was the end of April. And I think you said that it was supposed to be after this Saturday's match, right? I think, the 28th was the original.
That's back from what I read, and that's not from the report we got today from that lunatic Dave Meltzer.
Well, it was funny because a lot of people are even talking about it on G1, and rumors were going around. I actually had a fight with one of my best friends, and he was like, his contract's not till the end of the year. We literally got into like a whole fight. Yeah. I'm like, where did you hear this? Everybody's talking about it. I'm like, okay, everybody's, who is everybody?
Who's everybody?
Like, everybody at
G1. Well, Meltzer says. Oh, well, if Meltzer says it, it's right then. If whatever Meltzer says, I mean, we should just go with what he says, right? He's the end-all, be-all god of the dirt sheets. We should literally just listen to everything he says because everything he says has been true, right? The guy's been wrong in the past about a lot of big things. So let's, again, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. And yes, I will admit, I was wrong. My prediction didn't come true. I'm sad. Whatever.
I'm salty.
People that pick Dustin are like, oh, I told you so. I'm like, okay.
I'm salty about it.
Whatever. I don't mind in a way that, sure, like maybe they can do something good with this. You know, it's not produced by WWE, so maybe it'll be better than WWE. I mean, obviously, because he's not Stardust. So,
right.
Anyways, so we will go over the big announcement. Was on the an extra for Double or Nothing. He had 2 episodes in 1 week last week, so. I know I was anxious all night or basically all day until 7 o'clock Eastern to see what the announcement was going to be and who it was. And there are a lot of people saying before that it was, it's Goldberg's. That's Goldberg's ranch. I'm like, did you guys not see the C and the R on the gate? Like, why would Goldberg have a C and an R on his front gate? His real name's Bill Goldberg. Anyways.
People are talking about Marty in the chat, so I don't know if we continue talking about that.
we're not, because we're going to get into the whole intro spiel. Got to get out of the way. So, guys, follow us on social media at All Elite Pod on Twitter. Again, myself at Real Kyle Masters, at Loves to Dream 82 for Tiffany. You can also follow us on Instagram at All Elite Pod and on Facebook, All Elite Podcast. Those are your official links for the podcast, and all links will be down in the YouTube description below for everyone that wants to follow us on there. If you are joining us live on YouTube, thank you. If you're listening to us on the go, we are available to listen to on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Spreaker. So thank you, whoever is listening to us on the go and downloading the episode. We really do appreciate it. And if you guys don't know, we are available on those platforms, like I said before, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. All links are down in the description below. I've now put the Spotify one. I forgot I haven't been putting the Spotify one down below, but the Spotify link is down there for you guys. Or you can just search up on Spotify. I assume everyone out there knows how to use Spotify. But if you don't, just go to Spotify, search the bar, All Elite Podcast, and we will come up. Or No Holds Bar Network, one or the other. We will come up on your search bar. Let's get into the sponsors, guys, quickly. Go check out KayFabe Tees. Look at that beautiful new layout I just made for their T-shirts. I couldn't fit all them all on here, so I just grabbed a few of my favorite and some new ones. But I made a beautiful layout there for KayFabe Tees. They have some T-shirts there, guys. They are one of the sponsors of the All Elite Podcast, and we are working together with them to bring you guys our T-shirts. But first, most importantly, their T-shirts. KayFabeTees.com. They get some awesome T-shirts. So you got Brett, Working Brett. If you're a Merch Sheep kind of guy, you can get a Merch Sheep T-shirt. If you don't think Matt Taven's your Ring of Honor champion, you can get a Not My Champion T-shirt. You can get a Las Vegas KayFabe T-shirt if you want to celebrate being KayFabe in Las Vegas. You get a Keep KayFabe shirt. If you feel like participating at WrestleMania, you get a participating WrestleMania-style T-shirt. If you don't like the Full Gear Challenge and you choose to do the Full Beer Challenge, they got a Full Beer Challenge shirt for you.
Jimmy's rocking that shirt.
And if you feel like being a Mark, well, they got a Mark T-shirt for you. There you go. So go, guys, go check out KayFabeTees.com. Like I said, we are partnering with them to bring you the All Elite Podcast Tees. That's right, AEP Tees on KayFabe Tees, presented by KayFabe Tees. Guys, we have 4 awesome T-shirts if you guys want to get in on that All Elite merch. I'm not wearing my T-shirt today. I can't find it. I think it might be in my laundry bin, so I think that's where that is. You know, the shirt's got to be cleaned. But that's the one on the left, the very left. That's the one I'm wearing right now. Then you got the All Elite Podcast Merp T-shirt, which Tiffany has ordered.
Yes, I have.
And have it. There's the Pissant Company T-shirt. And the Fook or Fuck the Finest T-shirt.
You changing it to Fook now? Like
yeah, I don't know. I've heard someone say Fook before, and I've laughed. But
I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
But whatforapparel.com/AEP is where you can find that, guys. The word what, the word for, the word apparel, all one word.com/All Elite Podcast. And as always, a message from the Executive Vice President of All Elite Podcast, KayFabe Tees. That's right. He actually sent you one. I think I see it on Twitter the other day.
What happened?
I think he sent you a mini response
He
on Twitter.
did, because like I retweet because they are doing a tailgate party for Double or Nothing. So guys, if you're gonna be in Las Vegas, go check out our friends at KayFabe Tees.
Mhm.
That's gonna be awesome. All you can drink, I think it's $50. So go check them out. So I retweeted
Awesome.
it and they sent me a message with
Awesome.
the penguin.
Penguin.
Yeah. I love
Basically
him.
like their Pharaoh doll.
That's my dude.
Awesome. I wish I was going down there for Double or Nothing. Oh, I want to go so bad.
I know. Who wants the sponsor me, Kyle, to go down there?
Pay for almost a grand plane trip there and back, and our hotels. We want an executive suite because we live in luxury.
Only the best
Only
for
the
No
best.
Fun Network.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, thank you for joining in on the new episode. Basically, we talk about anything new and exciting in the All Elite Wrestling world. We do some Being the Elite review, so we'll have the review for episode 148 for today. We go over the Road to Double or Nothing documentary, which is the big news with the one last week of the announcement of Cody Rhodes' opponent. And we guys keep you up to date with the news and rumors. Obviously, there are rumors, so they take it with a grain of salt. We are not a news source here at All Elite Podcast. We just go over the news and rumors, give our opinions, and want to know what your opinions, especially you guys out there, what your opinions are on what the latest news and rumors are with All Elite Wrestling. So excited for this, man. The company just keeps... There's more excitement for this company every week, I find.
Yeah.
Like, every week, I'm getting more and more excited, and it's just... we haven't even taken off the ground yet. We haven't even started a TV show. We haven't even basically had our first pay-per-view yet, which is Double or Nothing in May, which is exciting. That's going to be a huge event, especially with the new match they have announced and potential other matches that may not be announced or may be announced on the pay-per-view. We never know. But I have a feeling they're going to pull out all the stops of this one. It's going to be a huge kickoff pay-per-view for this brand, and I'm very excited. Speaking of, and this was like, it played into the Being the Elite this week, the Librarian.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with this. There were some tweets and stuff over this. So I'll transition on the screen for you guys. Who is the true Librarian? Is it going to be Leva Bates, or is it going to be Peter Avalon? Who do you guys think out there? Is it going to be the girl or the guy? This is kind of odd that they're doing a sexist competition here. I don't know if that's a good idea. But we've really only seen more of Peter Avalon, haven't we? I don't remember ever seeing. When did we see a Leva Bates rendition of the Librarian?
I know Margaret knows in the chat because Margaret was excited.
I thought did I miss it? Was it a fan? Like, was it a submitted
Yeah,
video on Twitter? Okay.
Submitted, yeah, that one, and it's pinned on her Twitter profile.
So obviously, both of these people are not fans. They're professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
But it's gonna. I guess it's gonna be sort of like a mini competition to see who is, the true Librarians, because they've made 2 posters for this. Unless they're gonna be a mixed tag together, the Librarians.
Well, that'd be interesting. I'd be kind of down for
I had
something.
that as a thought. I'm like, oh, maybe they'll just combine them. Maybe they're gonna be like, oh, we can't decide. We're just gonna combine them and make them a tag team.
Right.
And like the first ever mixed official tag. Like, I know like Rusev and Lana are together in WWE, but they're not really officially as a tag team. They're not labeled as that. They don't do that all the time. I mean, I don't know. But maybe they'll put them as a tag. That'd be cool.
A lot of people in the chat are saying Leva for the Librarian.
Okay. I'm going to say Peter Avalon.
I guess I'm gonna go with the
dangerous.
chat.
Yeah, I don't like this. This is gonna start the wrong type of war. I don't like that. Anyways, what's funny though is Culture City decided to get in on this, and they posted this picture. It's funny. They did their best to try to match the All Elite thing. I'll give them credit. It looks not half bad, but they put Sensory Bag is the Librarian, and they put some librarian goggles on the sensory bag that people are going to get at Double or Nothing. And they crop some books in front of it. Oh, man, Culture City, that's hilarious. They went, and I thought it was just a fan-made one. No, this was actually posted on Culture City's official Twitter. Like, what is that?
That's funny. EW Fandom said that one time Leva turned up to do jobs at NXT and got more over than anybody else on the show, and WWE got angry at her for it.
Ooh, shocker. Shocker. So we didn't really get much around the AEW world. The only thing we found that was pretty interesting was, if you guys didn't see it was an Instagram post by Matt, or was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was an Instagram story.
He put it on both. He put it on Twitter, and then he put it also on his Instagram.
So if you guys didn't see it, I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. So simply, he puts, I've been performing in a wrestling ring since I was 16 years old. I've never taken a long break, even for injury. I just kept going. The current break has been the longest I've ever taken. I've needed it to recharge my body, my mind, to start a brand new company. Most importantly, I needed this to make up for the long time with my family. I haven't forgotten about all our amazing fans. We'll be back soon on the biggest adventure yet. Nothing but love. God, that was hard to read when it's in that style.
You had to put that pic of Matt up. Seriously,
yeah, sorry.
Making me drool over here.
But this is interesting, because I think it's also a hint as to what we were talking about last episode, as that AEW plans on. There's a rumor out there they're planning on doing an off season, and I think that's going to be important. I think this right here kind of simply puts it that, like, he even puts, like, I've had time to recharge my body and my mind to start this brand new company, and a break was good. He's going nonstop since he was 16 years old. So I think that's also maybe a little bit of a hint that maybe they're going to look at doing an off season, which is really good. That's really good for the wrestlers. And he's had time to focus on his family, which he also put on Instagram, and I'll put up for you guys. He's actually enjoyed his first ever Easter with his kids being at home.
That's so sweet.
So you see there, and they're painting the eggs, doing the old Easter shtick, the gimmick, painting the eggs. Yeah, for you guys listening on the go, it's basically just a picture of Matt's kids painting eggs on a table, and says he's got captioned, "The first Easter I've been home with my kids." So that's sweet. So yeah, I'm all, again, like I said last week, I'm all for the whole off-season thing. I think it'd be huge. I think it's a good idea for the wrestlers, especially the way Matt puts it, that it gives you time to recharge your body and, to get over some nagging injuries, and then you come back fresh, and then you're 100% ready to go. It's not like you keep going and you're gonna have to wanting to do something huge. Like maybe there's a good storyline that comes around, and you're excited to have a good match with a certain individual, but you have nagging injuries, so you can't give your 100% full into it. And especially that he has kids too. He kind of wants to be there for their kids growing up. It's tough when you're a WWE superstar and you're traveling like, what is it, 200 or 300 some days a year.
It's so bad.
So,
I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people. I put the tweet out that I've been binging from the beginning because I only started watching Being the Elite probably in like December, and like I have such a great appreciation. I can't believe. I know that these wrestlers, they travel so much, but to actually physically see it. And like all the stuff they go through, all the flights. I mean, I couldn't do it. I definitely couldn't like do all that traveling all the time. 11-hour flights, 20-hour flights, all these flights. And
plus, I feel like if you see the same guy on TV for so many weeks on end, you kind of get bored of them maybe in a way. That way, like when they come back to TV after having a break, it's like, oh shit, it's like, yeah, you get that excitement, that new excitement for that person in a way. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but something like that, like. Kind of if like a WWE wrestler leaves for a bit, right, and then he comes back, and there's that, there's that excitement pop, that oh my god they're back kind of thing. So I think that's pretty cool. So. And
then you don't want overkill either. Like
no,
I don't know. We watched a lot of wrestling WrestleMania week. That was a lot mentally.
That was overkill. Yeah, we basically look like this after the weekend's done. Basically, like Michael Nakazawa going insane here. That was our brain at the end of WrestleMania weekend right there.
It was. Oh my god.
If you guys are listening on the go, it's basically just you guys got to go back and watch the YouTube version of this podcast to know what we're talking about. That's basically our brain at the end of WrestleMania weekend. So, yeah.
Jeffrey Elliott says we should review Sammy G's blogs on his YouTube channel.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
We'll definitely look into that. We'll check that out.
Okay.
I haven't watched it, so
yeah, me either.
It's something. I mean, you see it on Being the Elite that he's on doing his vlog, so maybe it's something we can, incorporate into the podcast. So.
Okay. Other than that, really don't have much else for all around the wrestling, all around the elite wrestling world. I can't really say that properly. No Hangman Page updates except for there was I forgot to put it up here. Kip. There was you sent me a picture of someone in the gym.
Oh, Kip. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait. Hold on. Kip.
You don't even remember who you sent me.
I sent stuff all through the week when we compiled
There's one gym picture. You don't remember the gym picture.
Yes, it's another full year challenge.
Okay. That has nothing to do with Adam. Like, where's Adam Page? What are you doing, man? This is tying into the Being the Elite episode of him being I think that's what it is. Like he had to move his whole family. But we might as well get into now. We'll go over the Being the Elite episode 148, which Tiffany's actually currently binging right now, getting caught up, which I have to start soon.
Yeah. FTR.
Just say it. Fuck the revival.
Fuck the revival.
Yeah. This is an explicit content. We put the label out there. If you guys are offended, I'm sorry. We warned you.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, so Being the Elite this week, interesting episode, labeled Dead Friend.
I was excited when I saw the title. I was like,
oh.
So,
Kenny and Cody kind of start off the episode. This is hilarious. So I guess they're at Kenny's home in Winnipeg. I don't think they are, but Cody's just like, yeah, you make me come all the way to Winnipeg. What's going on here? He's like, it's a nice house though. So Kenny's like so antsy, and like he's almost talking like how that librarian guy was talking last week, almost like the same kind of way. So, and then basically they're talking about the librarian thing, and saying that he's seen last week's episode about Peter Avalon. He doesn't like it, and Cody agrees he doesn't like Peter Avalon either, and they like more Leva, and Kenny's even like singing a song about Leva. So they want the girl instead of Peter Avalon. They think the gimmick fits more in a girl. And they kind of poke fun at WCW, the comparison that AEW is getting to WCW. So that was kind of funny. Again, they always do like these subtle jabs at the people that are making fun of AEW, saying like now recently it's been like they're copying WCW. So that's what all that was. Now it's how we opened up Being the Elite this week. So they wanted Leva Bates as the librarian. Then we got the whole AEW official. Leva Bates is the librarian. And then we transitioned after the intro to Christopher Daniels and Matt. It basically was right after last week when they met Peter Avalon. And they basically told him, like, man, like, you're the man for the job. Like, you were the librarian. What you just did right there, we think you're the guy to put the librarian over. He gets excited and goes, oh, what? I kind of, well, first I actually said all the submissions that they got sucked. They're like, all those other people, they suck. You're the guy. And Pete kind of mentions, like, well, Cody said something about 1 million. No.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. But you're the guy, man. You're the guy. And then they leave, and he kind of, like, looks confused, and we get the whole Peter Avalon is the librarian with the Double or Nothing song, which here I'll play for you guys right now. I like that song.
I know.
I like it.
They did this for All In too.
Yeah. So then we get Sammy G showing up at Mama Panda's house, his mom's house.
I'm surprised that's not a shirt, Mama Panda.
Is it not a shirt?
No, not Mama Panda.
It might be.
Probably essentially.
So he comes over. Mom basically has a package for him that he sent to the house, I guess. And it was just like an awkward conversation between the two. Like, like Sammy was just kind of like, I didn't want to be there kind of thing, but kind of wanted to show that he's still happy to be there. And then he gets the box and he's on his way. And his mom just rips him apart after he leaves.
He didn't even give her the current AEW shirt.
He's like, what is this? It's not even an AEW shirt. What is this?
Not even her size.
New Sammy G t-shirt. It's not even my size. And she just rips him apart. And then it transitions to Nick like editing this part and going, oof, jeez. And then Matt walks in, and then Nick's like trying to show him. He goes, I don't care. That doesn't matter. Matt brings up the whole Jericho leaving him a voicemail trying to break off from Nick. And then Nick says, yeah, he did the same to me. And they kind of agree to kind of still be on the same page. Those are they're the greatest tag team out there. And then they're like, speaking of tag teams, they introduce us to the new official team to AEW. And we actually seen these guys at House of Glory in New York over WrestleMania weekend. So we get a highlight package of Private Party, they're called. Really, really athletic team. I love these guys. I thought they put on a good show at House of Glory. And you can see throughout that highlight package of how good these guys are, on how the chemistry between these guys are really excellent, the moves they pull off. And we get the end of the highlight package with kind of like a mini promo of Private Party saying they're all elite. I really like how they did that. They're like in a club scene, and they when they said that they're all elite, they transitioned and looked at the wall, and the poster is on the wall.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
So that was sweet. So yeah, Private Party. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We saw in the House of Glory. I'm glad now they're officially all elite. So we have another tag team to add to the list. We moved in. Oh, the Joey Ryan segment of the show. He's basically just like warming up in some random house show ring with the little Candace doll.
The brawler.
Watching him the whole time. And then like a voice, they zoom in, the voice says like, Joey, look out behind you. I wonder whose voice that is. I wonder if we're going to find out. Or if someone knows, let us know. Because I'm trying to figure out whose voice that is. I know last week was Allie, and it sounds different this week. But Joey Ryan basically super kicks an attacker, some random guy trying to attack Joey Ryan. And he's kind of like all super paranoid and sitting in the corner and just looking around. So, that was the Joey Ryan part of the show. It was very quick. And we moved on to, Kenny on his tablet phone, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
he's wearing like all like brand new AEW merch, like the hat and the sweater. He just looks so out of place, and he's just ordering stuff like crazy. He's ordering like the actual it's called the F-14 Tommy Cat from what's that movie called with Tom Cruise? Oh my God, Top Gun. And then he's like, oh, can we get Tom Cruise too? And he's just ordering all this stuff, and then it transitioned to an SCU kind of like a conference call, and basically they are poking fun and making a jab at scary movies. Like if anyone's seen Scary Movie, you know what the hell they're doing in this scene.
I was dying. I was literally dying here laughing.
So saying what's up? They're like SCU.
I just ordered their shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Ooh. And they're talking about having a super awesome act for their SCU after party, and I'm assuming that's going to be like after Double or Nothing, right? Is that they're having their after party? So they have a super act for it.
That. I wish I was going. I hate this.
And then Scorpio Sky wants to call the others about it, and then it shows him calling Matt. Matt's sitting there with his son, and it literally, I don't know if that was I think it must have been a recording, but it's
okay, just so you know the backstory, because I guess you don't know or whatever, but his son was walking around with the Hulk Hogan figure like all the time. So Matt sent a video to Hulk, and then he sent a video back for his son. So he's been playing it over 50 like a million times over and over and over.
Oh, okay.
So when you're actually watching them sitting at the table, he's watching it again, the video, and that's why.
Because I'm like, oh my God, it's like Hulk Hogan calling them.
Yeah, no, it was a video that he
sent.
And
then he's like, oh, Scorpio Sky's calling, and ignores him. So there's a bunch of ignores coming up here. Like, it's just all about ignoring. And he says he has got a missed call from a 904 area code, and they left a voicemail. So some girl named Elizabeth from, I guess, a bank that's on behalf of the AEW company credit card says that she wants to go over some purchases. And I actually wrote down these purchases and the price because I really wanted to go over this with you guys. So
go ahead.
The purchases, number one, was from beachballs.com for 1,200 beach balls for a total of $2,280. I think A, that's for Fighter Fest because, you know, the whole beach theme, and B, that is a jab at WWE and the beach balls.
Yes.
Number two was from nationalpoolwarehouse.com. I didn't go see if these are actual websites. For an indoor 48-foot precision swimming pool with a lagoon for $3,983.97. And then this is where it gets ridiculous. From avbuyer.com, a Bell B-206 Ranger helicopter for $350,000.
What is a helicopter for?
And then I think that was a jab at Charlotte's entrance.
No, I know.
Yeah. And then from buyavilla.com, 6 separate properties for $2.4 million.
What are you doing?
I think that's also a jab at the villas that they were selling. This is a jab at themselves. The villas they're selling that sold out really quickly, but yet were so expensive. And actually, isn't there one villa left, and it's like the $1 million one or the $1 billion one, and it's actually like worth like $1 million or something, the one villa from Fighter Fest that you can rent.
Oh gosh.
And so I'm pretty sure that's what that was for. Anyways, so after that phone call, Matt gets mad and he's like, Kenny, and then tries to call him. Kenny's still on the phone about the Tom Cruise thing. He sees that he's trying to call and ignores him, so there's another ignore. And then Matt tries calling Nick. Nick's talking with his son. They decide to ignore Nick.
Oh God.
Or Nick decides to ignore Matt, so Matt's getting ignored left and right here. And then Hangman Page makes an appearance and starts calling Matt. And then Hangman's like, "Oh man, sorry, I've been tied up. I couldn't get back to you." And Matt brings up the whole like, how you been? Are you getting in full gear? Like, I seen that security footage of you eating that chip. What are you doing, Hangman? And like giving him shit for that. Hangman tried to defend it, saying that because of it, he thinks someone's watching him, so he's had to move houses and relocate his family, and says he's being watched. He gets no sympathy from Matt over this, saying like this is professional wrestling. Moving families is part of the business. completely going over the fact that he's being watched. And then he asks Hangman, "Are you full gear ready yet?" Hangman basically goes, "No, I'm not." And he sounds really sad about it. And then after the phone call, there's a camera in his brand new house living room watching him. He goes, "What the hell?" So that's interesting. I think it's Pac.
Think so?
I think it's Pac watching him. Yeah, that's my guess. Trying to see if he's been keeping up on his full gear thing. Anyways.
Dog made it into the screen.
Yeah, that was interesting.
All of a sudden, his dog comes out of the box.
Yeah. And then the big thing here at the end, Nick says, "You know what?" He's talking to himself. He's like, "I feel like calling our old British friend, my mate. I feel like calling him." And then he's calling, and we get the last scene of the episode of the camera zooming in on a phone on top of a dresser, and it says, "Dead friend number 1 calling."
Ooh.
And if you guys don't know, we've been saying it on this episode that Marty's been shading his old friends by saying all my friends are dead. So there you go. Why are they doing this if this guy's not going to be a double or nothing?
Somebody said in the chat earlier that possibly maybe Marty will be like front row.
Oh, okay.
Watching it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think like they left on bad terms with
No.
Ring of Honor. So even maybe to make an appearance, I mean, if you go back to I know that they were all part of Ring of Honor during All In, so they had a lot of those guys.
There's got to be a good friendship between the two for Marty to at least just appear on Double or Nothing. Even if his contract, even if the rumors are true, his contract's not over at the end of April. For him to just appear at that event once and then, do something with them, why not? So,
yeah.
I can see something like that. But Marty's going to be a Double or Nothing, maybe not in the role that I thought he was going to be in. Sucks.
I'm salty. I'm salty. So he's got his match with Nick Aldis on Saturday.
So he's facing Nick Aldis for the NWA title, so that's going to be huge for him. It was I also seen that he will be him and Villain Enterprises will be facing a couple of New Japan guys coming up soon as well. I think it was for War of the Worlds. That 3-day event that Ring of Honor is doing with New Japan, and then I think he's been announced. I think today you sent me a picture. He's been announced in that. I can't say that name. Dogantu. I don't know if I can say that name.
Yeah.
that event. I'm gonna get ripped apart for that. Anyways, so that was Being the Elite. Interesting episode. Going to be interested to see what happens with now going forward. Now with the big announcement, we might as well go over it now. If you guys didn't see it, Road to Double or Nothing last week, we had the official announcement of Cody versus Dustin. Dustin also sent out a big, long message. I didn't feature it on here because I'm not reading that entire storybook announcement of him announcing his departure from WWE and joining AEW. This is going to be good. It's an interesting take on him as well. So he is Dustin Rhodes, and then he's got a shirt with the One Last Ride shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. So his face is half painted, half not. So he's half still got the Gold Dust gimmick, but it's not Gold Dust. I can't use it because WWE owns the rights to Gold Dust, and he's not using the gold and black face paint. He's using this red, and it's a different kind of design. And it's only half his face, so I'm guessing this is how they're getting away with it. So it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to be like at Double or Nothing. Is he going to be in Goldust attire, half Goldust attire? Like, is his whole body going to be cut in half with half Goldust attire and half regular old Dustin Rhodes type of attire? It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to be coming out like. But as for the promotional stuff already, we have half painted face of Dustin. And, man, he looks old. That's why I seen this, and I'm like, oh, man. Like, I know Dustin's old, but he's still in good shape, but I see two sides of the fence here. I see, it kind of helps Cody for getting back into it. You don't want to have him in a really physical type match, especially coming back from injury.
Right.
You kind of want to slowly go into it. But look, you see his next fights coming up, like at Fyter Fest. So
I'm reading stuff in the chat. Jeffrey said red dust.
Red dust.
And actually, Margaret brought up a good point. I can see Marty winning the title and bringing it to Double or Nothing and kind of taunting Cody with it.
Oh.
That would be a very interesting way to kind of push
a future,
like,
man. Maybe it'll be at All In 2.
for him to like win the belt back that his father had. So
I'm not making any more predictions.
you're not making any more.
Not like long ways predictions.
We do our Double or Nothing predictions show.
Yes, that's going to be coming up soon. I imagine in a week or two we might be doing it. I'd say in 2 weeks we'll probably do our Double or Nothing prediction show because I'm pretty sure in about 2 weeks we'll have pretty much the full card announced, and then we'll do our predictions for that. And if we do an episode before Double or Nothing that there's another match announced, we'll give our quick predictions on that and we'll add it to that. But I'm going to set a date and we'll do our prediction show for you guys, and I'll get a new layout made as well for that show. So keep an eye out on our Twitter for that. Other than that, the other Double or Nothing, the Road Double, not the Cody one, but the other one didn't really have much on it, I don't think. I'm trying to remember what mostly was on that episode because I got overshadowed by obviously the announcement because it was huge and that's what everyone really wanted to see, really. But I don't think anything happened in the one before that.
Yeah, no, we covered it last week.
Oh yeah, it's because we did.
Yeah,
it was right before the show. That's right.
We were like, okay, wake up.
So we'll just transition now, guys, into the news. And I guess I'll go first, and then we'll go to Tiff, me. Chris Jericho opens up on how much longer he's going to wrestle. I know this is coming from the wrestler himself, but this you have to take it with a grain of salt. A lot of wrestlers out there will be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be done this time, and then something happens, they get in better shape, and then they can't let go of it, or they retire and say, nah, I can't, I missed the thing, I'm going to come back to wrestle. So, but this is recent. Chris Jericho has wrestled for the biggest names in the history of pro wrestling. Jericho recently spoke to Gary Cassidy of Sports Keto, which I'm shocked he spoke to someone from Sports Keto. I've heard some mixed things about them, where he spoke about how much longer he thinks he can wrestle. He just signed a new 3-year contract with AEW at age 48. He says, quote, I'll know when I know. All I can say is the last match I had at the Tokyo Dome was one of my best matches on the show. One of the best matches on the show. As long as I can keep delivering, that's all that matters to me. The days of wrestling 100 times a year are done. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. The way I feel right now, I want to continue having great matches. That means something. Nothing against the fine people of Pugaspie, New York, or Kirriemuir, Scotland, or wherever these days. Those days are gone, and the towns are done. Wait, I don't understand what he said here, or whatever. Those days of going to those towns are done. Oh, okay, so he's poking fun at going to these little tiny towns for live events all the time. So he also quotes, "Do I have 10 more matches in me? 100, 150, or 500? I don't know. I do what I." Oh my God, I'm bad today. I do know that when I'm the font on this website sucks for one. I do know that when I finish this contract, I'll still be younger than the Undertaker. He just signed a new contract. So it all depends how I feel. I've never wanted to be less than what I consider to be my best. The reason that I'm still able to do it because I really limit my matches and pick my spots. Oh my God. I think that was a smart move to be able to continue at a high level because I'm not cashing in all my chips on a yearly basis, and it's been working. We're never using this website again. Okay, this font is horrible.
For me to do it.
Yeah, this font is really bad. Okay, we're never using that website again. But anyways, so basically, he says he'll let us know when he's done, but he's done doing basically a full-time schedule, to put it in simpler terms than what I just tried to read. And he actually just said The Undertaker signed a new contract. I don't know if a lot of people knew that out there, but he signed a new contract, which great. So he's going to be in the 2 Saudi Arabia shows they're probably going to do, and yada, yada, yada. Anyways,
Right.
Yeah, so good. I think that's perfect for Chris Jericho, to be honest. So.
All right. So speaking of Chris Jericho says ex-WWE talents are not guaranteed a job in AEW, which we've talked about before on the podcast as well. Chris Jericho recently spoke to Sports Keto about a variety of pro wrestling topics. One of these topics was AEW, the new pro wrestling company founded by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. All right. So it's different. We're not doing it the way that anyone who doesn't like what they're doing in WWE is automatically guaranteed a job in AEW. We will look at every talent on an individual basis. There are some guys we'd love to have in WWE, and there are some guys we probably wouldn't take. Obviously, we haven't even had our show yet, and our roster is already deep. When you talk about the Double or Nothing show, how many people can you book on the show? If you have 60 to 70 guys, you end up with the same problem as WWE. That is a shot. But it's true. You don't want to make they haven't had their first pay-per-view. You do not want to take all your talent from WWE. You want something new. And I mean, this is exciting even for me to see all the new talent that I've actually seen here even in New York or on independent shows. I want to see different people. I don't want the same people, in WWE. So we'll see what happens with that. I know
think this plays to what someone brought up last week, that are they putting too many eggs in their basket? Are they taking too many more people than they should be? And they're going to run into the same problem that WWE does, where they're not using everyone because there's too much talent on the roster. So I think I read somewhere early this week that they have like almost 40 people officially signed, but that includes the male and females, which is not that much if you think about it. So it's going to be interesting, because the way it looks, it's going to be a 2-hour show on the new show coming in October. I think Duffy wants to be included in the podcast, by the way. I'm just letting you know he wants to be included. But he's not a host of this show.
Duffy, you want to be a host?
No.
Kyle?
He'll be the silent host. Anyways, yeah. So it's a wait and see kind of thing. Can't really go too much on it. But, yeah, that's really all I got for that. This is interesting. This one's very interesting, because this and more, because I'll read the article, and I'm sure everyone's seen it so far. Okay, it's in this article. I thought it wasn't. So, CM Punk was Tony Khan's first choice before anyone else, including the Young Bucks, to be in All Elite Wrestling. If anyone didn't know, apparently, I don't know if this is like officially confirmed by him, but I mean, all the signs, and I've seen pictures to match it up. It's basically him. This is very, very interesting. I can't believe this actually happened. This should be bigger than it is, because of how many times CM Punk has come out and said he's done with professional wrestling. CM Punk made a surprise return at an indie wrestling show in front of 350 people on Friday night. A masked man in the ring delivered a GTS before exiting very quickly. This man apparently is to be confirmed to be CM Punk. Dave Meltzer spoke about CM Punk's surprise performance during his Wrestling Observer Radio, the Grain of Salt radio station. He then said that if Punk wants to wrestle, then he has a great opportunity, because Tony Khan wanted CM Punk to be his guy to start a professional wrestling company even before the Young Bucks came aboard. This is a quote from Meltzer. I mean, if he wants to wrestle, he was Tony Khan's first pick, but even before Jericho and even before the Young Bucks. If he wants to wrestle, then he can wrestle and make really good money if that's what he wants. Meltzer went on to say that when people asked him about CM Punk, and his only reply is that CM Punk is going to do whatever he wants to do. However, there's a very strong chance that he's not going back to the WWE. He's not Brett, so there's not even a chance that he'll come back in a decade for a Hall of Fame induction. Shane McMahon, calling himself the best in the world, invokes plenty of CM Punk chants from pretty much any live crowd. The company might not like that, but this is going to keep happening. If CM Punk was a huge star in AEW, they might like it even less, but he is going to keep doing what he wants to do. So this goes back to what I was saying right in the beginning. He's come out so many times, even on social media, to saying he's done with professional wrestling. He's done. That's gone. It was a part of his life before. It goes exactly what I just said not even 10 minutes ago. Wrestlers always want to come back to wrestle even though they're retired from wrestling. They love it. The passion still lives within them. It's never going to leave. They're always going to want to come back. For him to do something like this is really crazy to think about. You think about, why would he just do some random 350 people independent thing if it didn't mean anything? You know what I mean? See, I feel like CM Punk's the kind of guy to be like, why would I do that if it's not going to mean anything? Like, why would I just do that? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So that's interesting. And I seen the pictures, because I'm like, okay, why are people just saying it's CM Punk? Why? Because he did a GTS. What he was wearing, his whole outfit without the mask, some kid literally took a picture with him not too long before that with that exact outfit on. Same pants, same shoes, same shirt. So, and he posted it on Twitter, and I see it, I'm like, oh my God, so it was CM Punk. I'm like, why is he doing that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you people agree with me out there. Punk doesn't just do something like that if it doesn't mean anything. Why would he want to do that? If he said for the longest time now, for years, that he's done with professional wrestling, I don't want to have any association with it, I'm going to the UFC, I'm doing my own thing, I'm done with it. Why would he do this? Especially not a huge company, some random independent show with only 350 people. If it didn't mean anything. This is very interesting. I'm not sitting here telling you guys that he's officially going to be signing with AEW. He's going to be a top star. But it does draw some red flags that could he make an appearance of some kind of Double or Nothing? Are they going to pay him maybe for a one-time appearance? Are they going to pay him a buttload of money for a one-time appearance just to get more eyes on Double or Nothing?
Well, he was just at, what was that? Doing signings with Marty for Pro Wrestling Tees.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that? In
Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah.
So maybe it was kind of interesting how like that wasn't even that long ago, and then all of a sudden he makes an appearance. So maybe you're right. Maybe somehow he'll have some sort of appearance at Double or Nothing. What do you guys think in chat?
I did see someone ask you if we talked to JD. Yeah, we did talk to him at House of Glory. Tiff's actually friends, I guess you can say, with JD. Like, he's a good guy. He's really nice. Yeah.
I see him at all the House of Glory, so he knows me. So.
We literally just went up to say hi to him. That was it. We weren't gonna. But the guy is literally like preparing for commentary for an event. Wasn't?
Yeah. It's funny because I remember the first time I met JD, and he's just a humble guy, and like I told Kyle this for like the longest. I'm like, he's just a humble guy. Like
I wasn't like
face, the New York face. But it's actually funny sometimes. Like I'll see him, and then I see people run up to him, and like they get all crazy, and I'm like,
it was literally we was like two people walking up and seeing each other, recognizing each other on the street. Oh hey, and then bottom McGinnis. That was it.
Yeah, it's very nice guy.
I was there to watch the wrestling. I wasn't literally going there. I was in the back of my head. Okay, I'll meet JD, say hi to him. But I wanted to watch House of Glory because obviously I watch his stuff and he boosts how much House of Glory is good. And I never watched a House of Glory event before. I was interested because of how much traction it was getting and like the card. I seen the card for it before we got there. I'm like, damn, like this is actually gonna be a decent event. It was good. It was really good. So like
I'm actually going to the next one. So I'll see Jerry. We saw Solid Monster as well.
Yeah, you're going to the Code Red.
One.
Yeah.
Yes.
Impact Wrestling, House of Glory.
See my girl Tessa. Seriously, maybe we could find out like what's going on. Are you going to AEW?
Yeah, but back to what I was saying about CM Punk. This should be bigger news than it is. I think it's still big news right now, but why is he doing it? Why? Doesn't make sense that he just would do something like that. You know what I mean? I don't think he's the type of guy to just do it as a gag either.
No.
It was just strange.
There's a reason behind it.
But move on.
All right, so let's see what else we got. We got Superstars react to Goldust's WWE release. So Goldust legendary run in WWE might be over. Red
Dust now.
What? Oh,
now,
Red
Dust.
Red Dust.
Don't get copyrighted.
Okay, so he
we trademarked Red Dust, by the way. I was doing it while we were talking. I already did it. Red Dust. God.
Anyway, so he had plenty of superstars over the years that made a huge impression on the WWE locker room in the process. Fans will always remember Goldust for his in-ring competitions, but plenty of superstars will always remember him in one of the favorite co-workers. So we had Kurt Angle. It wasn't so much the paint, but the man beneath the paint. Goldust was an amazing character, so entertaining, but Dustin was one of the best and most polished in-ring performers that I've ever seen. Farewell, my friend. Thank you, Goldust. Nia Jax says, thank you, Goldie, with a bunch of hearts. You're amazing. Don't. And Natty sent a bunch of love and, prayers. Mick Foley, thank you, Goldust. Somehow Dustin Rhodes made weird and wild moments like these seem perfectly logical. And then we have Zelina Vega, hashtag thank you, Goldust. Nothing but love and respect, my friend, one of the best people I know in and out of the ring. Thank you for all you've done and always supporting me. So... From the gold to the red. Red Dust. Red Dust. I'm gonna see like a bunch of red confetti and stuff.
I
Like,
don't know.
I miss the old school gold
Yeah.
dust gimmick back
Maybe
in
I'll
the.
make a red dust T-shirt.
Yes. What all the confetti? I'm such a mark.
Wow.
Oh God, I prefer Stardust. That's Cody's.
You.
No, no.
Stars are the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Just,
I like that the episode of the Swerve on the network with Goldust and Stardust, and they were popping out of the boxes.
oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
ah!
Oh yeah. I remember.
So, moving on. What else we got?
So we talked about it earlier, so we'll just get it out of the way, the grain of salt out of the way. When Marty Scurll's contract with Ring of Honor is up. So Marty Scurll did not get to join Being the Elite cast mates in the All Elite Wrestling because he was still locked into an ROH contract. He's getting a nice push in Ring of Honor right now after the Young Bucks and Cody's departure as well. However, some fans can't wait to see them all back together. Scurll was edited out of the Being the Elite opening, and they decided to do a new one with pixel art. However, Marty Scurll's ROH contract is running up this year. This is Dave Meltzer saying on Wrestling Observer Radio, so again, guys, Dave Meltzer, that it won't be as soon as some fans might have thought. He puts, no, it's later than April. I do know the date. I don't know the date. So he thinks it's later than April, but he doesn't know the date. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you take his stuff with a grain of salt. I just know it's in the fall. He's got a little while. Yeah, they wouldn't be pushing him that crazy if he wasn't leaving right away. I mean, it kind of makes sense in a way there, but for him to just say, oh, yeah, it's the fall. Yeah, sure it is. Meltzer continues saying ROH should give Marty Scurll their top championship. This could certainly sweeten the pot in negotiations if and when the time comes to talk about a new deal, because when his contract is coming to a close, you know AEW will be in those discussions. Now, I don't think he'd be this soon because Taven is like the super heel with the championship right now. And for Marty to take it off him, I think Lethal is probably going to get another chance at it, and Lethal might even win it back if they want to go the Marty that way. But Marty there's a chance of him winning the NWA championship on Saturday, so who knows?
I'm kind of going for that. I'm really thinking about that. He's going to take the title, and somehow it's going to come to AEW, and then it's going to be a match between him and Cody. And Cody takes it off of him.
Yeah, and I'll give Dave Meltzer credit where credit's due. If it does become the fall where his contract ends, perfect timing, because that's when AEW's TV show is going to be taken off. Maybe they do like a surprise thing with it, one of the TV episodes. You know what I mean? And It could be something with Cody Rhodes then. But yes, my prediction was wrong again for like the 8th time this episode. Yes, I was wrong.
At least you admit it.
We will see.
We were marking out. We were really hoping for that. So even I was thinking that was going to happen, but you never know. He could make an appearance. So
I don't know if we have any other news.
Wait, we have. Where did it go? Here we go. We had a fan tweet.
Oh, we have a fan tweet. Let's get the fan tweet in. Okay. So couldn't think of a fan question yet. I think we'll try to get a good one going for next episode. We want to get the juices flowing, so we'll definitely try to get one for the next episode. But we had a fan tweet, and what was the fan tweet, Tiff?
All right, it's from Carlton Pro.
Oh.
Will Double or Nothing be on standard pay-per-view through cable providers, or the Fight TV app will not fit my needs? So they still haven't announced.
Are they saying Fight TV is not good enough? I've heard mixed things with the Fight TV app. I've heard actually some people say it's good, and I've heard some people are like, screw it sucks. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I watch it. I watch stuff at Margaret's house, Brad and Margaret's house.
Whose main platform is that? Like, is there like a company out there that uses that for everything? Like, is it Ring of Honors or?
It's a whole bunch.
Okay.
It's a whole bunch of stuff. So Ring of Honor is on it. And actually a lot of the pay-per-views, because even like the Ring of Honor, even to watch the Honor Club, a lot of people wind up pay-per-viewing it off of the Fight TV app.
Okay. I know this is labeled as a pay-per-view, so I imagine if people still purchase pay-per-views out there, it'll be available for purchase.
Right.
I think pay-per-views are still like $40-$50 out there.
Yeah.
So
depending what it is.
As for the Fight TV app, I have no idea.
I think it's going to be on both, to be honest. I looked the other day because I was curious. It's not up there yet. So, I mean, we're getting down to like what is it, like a month? We're a month away now. It's the 23rd. So I'm sure that will be announced like soon, but I'm assuming that it's going to be on both.
Because I, for the life of me, I can't think that they've announced it yet. I remember seeing it all the time. The posters don't really have much on it either. Like they don't say. It just says like the poster we show is just sold out. I know, and like the ticket companies at the bottom in Pro Wrestling Tees, but it doesn't say it's gonna be live on what. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say I know it says live on pay-per-view in the one poster. I know it's got. I remember it was MGM, Pro Wrestling Tees, AEW, that AXS ticket company, and I think StarCast logo was on it as well.
Yeah.
But as for like where they're showing it, it hasn't. I don't think it's really been announced. So all it said live on pay-per-view. So obviously pay-per-view, wherever your sports pay-per-view provider is, I'm sure it'll be available for purchase. I guess other people are gonna have to find streams. I guess. But other than that, I don't think they've announced.
I think it's gonna be affordable because All In was affordable on it as well. So I guess we'll see. We'll definitely like listen out for.
Yeah, we'll try to get that information for the next episode. We'll make it a thing to see if we can search into it and find out maybe there's rumors about it. So
Danny in the chat says Jim Ross's podcast. Cody said that he would have info soon.
Oh, so probably be a road to Double or Nothing.
Yeah, it's within the next couple of weeks. Definitely, we have to know soon. Like, where are we pay-per-viewing it? I'm sure people are gonna prepay. So, I think me and Kyle are definitely gonna get on that. So
other than that, I think that's going to wrap it up today, guys. Thank you for tuning in live on YouTube. Everyone in the chat, thank you for tuning in. And if you're listening to this on the go, thank you for downloading the episode and showing your support for the All Elite podcast. Guys, like I said before earlier in the show, make sure you're following us on all social media platforms. All Elite Pod on Instagram, All Elite Pod on Twitter, All Elite Podcast on Facebook, and at Real Kyle Masters right above my head, and at Loves to Dream 82 right above her head. You can follow us on there. Keep up to date with this podcast. Also, guys, make sure if you're listening to us on the go, we're available on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, and Spotify. All links for everything will be down in the YouTube description below. Other than that, guys, I'm your host as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters. I'm always joined by my host, Tiffany, at Love to Dream 82 on Twitter, guys. That's going to wrap it up, and we'll see you next week for episode 19.